The holidays start here at Kroger with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. You could do a classic herb-roasted turkey or spice it up and make turkey tacos. Serve up a go-to shrimp cocktail or use Simple Truth wild-caught shrimp for your first Cajun risotto. Make creamy mac and cheese or a spinach artichoke fondue from our selection of Murray's cheese. No matter how you shop, Kroger has all the freshest ingredients to embrace all your holiday traditions. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Welcome to the Instagram Stories for Friday, June 11th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. It's been a big week for Instagram because of Instagram Creator Week, which has been an online event, 5,000 creators. I actually got the link. I've just been so busy with work, I haven't even had a chance to join the sessions, but Adam Mosseri was on Squawk Box talking about some of the highlights of the new features that have been rolled out and that will be rolled out in the coming months. Here's the second part of the clip from what I played yesterday. If you missed the first part of it, go back and listen to yesterday's episode. You can find it on Apple Music or Spotify or wherever you get podcasts. Just look for the Instagram Stories. Here's the rest of the interview where he talks about the monetization paths and what they're doing differently from Apple.
Speak to the issue of how you're going to be splitting the revenues between the creators and Instagram itself and how that may differ from some of the other platforms.
So we also announced this week that for all of the products where users actually pay creators directly, we're waiving all fees to the end of next year. We think it's an important thing to signal exactly what we're going to be taking and what creators are going to be able to make over the long run. We also signal that we're going to take less than the 30% that companies like Apple take for digital transactions because we just, quite frankly, think that's too high and not sustainable. But we wanted to make sure we signal to the market where we're going and particularly to creators so that they can make educated decisions about where to place, or where to spend that time, I should say.
How is that going to work on a platform like iOS? Meaning, is Apple going to still be taking a piece of that?
It depends on the specific product. So when there are digital transactions that happen on iOS, Apple insists that they take 30% of that. There's a very few number of exceptions. So for transactions that happen directly in iOS, we're going to have to abide by their rules. It's their playground. They set the rules. We have to abide by those. But in general, we're going to look for other ways to help creators make a living and facilitate transactions that happen in other places. So for instance, if we can help brands and creators vet each other and find each other, they can make those transactions happen offline. Right. So if you're for affiliate marketing, it's real goods, not digital goods. And so there the Apple Store or the general App Store takes don't apply. So we'll try to lean into the places where creators can actually make a stable living.
Do you think the rules that Apple has around its App Store at 30%, that's fair? Should they be able to determine what that price is?
I will say that they have an immense amount of power. They own one of the most important operating systems in the world, and they get to dictate those rules with very little oversight. I think that it's hard to justify taking such a large cut of a transaction that you don't facilitate directly. But I don't get to set the rules. They do.
The flip side, I'm sure somebody at Apple would say, should Facebook set the rules for the prices on advertising at Facebook?
It's a reasonable retort, though I would say that our prices for advertising are auction-based. So, yes, there are ways that we are involved, but in general, we believe in free markets. We believe that allowing the demand to set the price. And as a result, you'll see our prices move, not radically, but move up and down based on our ability to generate more supply, but also our ability to deliver value for advertisers. And then at the end of the day, you get to decide what you're going to spend as an advertiser, and we think that's important.
A lot of good info in there. First, right off the bat, I'm going to say that I don't feel sorry for Instagram having to pay a 30% cut to Apple. I do think that Facebook and Instagram have big enough pockets and make enough money every month, and every year, I should say, that this is really not hurting them that much. However, I do really like this plan to not charge any profit from creators for the foreseeable future. I think that's a really smart move, and it gets creators invested in the ecosystem, build up that monetary base, and then they're less likely to leave for somewhere else. think that's a very, very good strategy on the part of Instagram. Okay, that's it for today's show. If you have a question you want me to answer on Saturday's Q&A show, send it in. I love getting questions and answering them on the show. That's really my favorite part of the whole thing. Thanks so much for listening, and come back tomorrow for more Instagram strategy, tips, and more.